Coach, a game I'm sure that you'd like to forget to end the weekend last weekend, but obviously you have to look back on how things went. After a week of practice, what's the mood like and the feeling coming into this weekend?
Well, I think, this early in the season, you got to be very positive going in the week, and we were. I mean, we did show some review from Saturday night's game because, even though you lose 8-2 and the special teams obviously were not good and couldn't really create any momentum for us, it was going all in Rockford's direction. There was some positive in terms of 5-on-5 play, but it just wasn't enough over the 60-minute game. So for us, I think it was important to certainly emphasize the positives that came out of that 5-on-5 play, because when we do execute our systems, the good things happen. And obviously anytime you have 12 penalties on the road, problematically you're not going to have a lot of success, specifically when there's 4 or 5-on-3. So, just wasn't a good game overall from the goaltenders out. And the great thing about our game, you get to move on, and you got to come out ready for the next practice to get better individually and collectively as a team, and that's what we've done. We've really covered everything this week that we could in a 3-day span, from skills to special teams to 5-on-5 play. And at the end of the day, we're looking forward to tonight's game.
Yeah, what's, I guess, like the general mood like around the team? It is still very early in the season. There's a lot of hockey left to play, and you can't forget about how well this team came out of the gate in the first week or so. Well,
I think we got to also remember we've certainly faced some adversity here with the amount of players that have went down, and you can't make excuses as a coach or a team. You put the 20 players that are available to you on the ice, and you go try and win a hockey game, and that's what we've done. And we've given a number of guys PTO looks here over the last, it's been 3 weeks now, and specifically here in the last 10 days or so, with some significant pieces out, and it's a matter of those guys stepping up and showing that they deserve to be in the American League full time. And at the same time, management has tried to adjust our roster and bring some veteran presence in that we think was lacking, that could help our team be successful moving forward.
Maybe on those two veteran guys, Cole Castles is a familiar face here on his third stint with the Sens, and Corey Conacher, as we talked about earlier this week, has quite the pedigree in this league. After seeing them with the group for a fefew days, how quickly do you hope they can work into things?
Well, it'll be an easy transition for Castles. I mean, I guess we're doing something right in Belleville that he's back for his third tour of duty, but a real good veteran presence. Obviously with the loss of Kastelik and no right shot option, we had, as a staff, specifically asked management to seek out a potential center ice, preferably a right shot, and that's not always possible this time of year. So the fit was there with Cass wanting to come back from Sweden and not really enjoying his time over there. And I think he looked good in practice. He was real excited and got here pretty quickly, and we've known for a few days that he was interested in coming back, and there was a potential fit here. But for him to be able to come back, clear waivers, and get 2 solid practices under him, I think he's going to be a good addition not only to the PK but face-offs, specifically on that right side, and just gives us a real good veteran presence in the room, because we really like what he brought to the table in his 2 previous opportunities to play for us. And when it comes to Conacher, obviously with 3 top 6 forwards out, you need to score, and you need your power play to be successful, and it's very difficult to rely on certain guys, and to be able to add Corey, that's got an unbelievable pedigree. Hopefully he can help us as well. And again, another good fit. A Toronto area guy, and this was just close to home, and it'll probably take him up some time to get up to speed with systematic play and a little bit of his conditioning. He looks to be in pretty solid shape, but again, when you're not into real practices and game action, it's going to take some time, but certainly the skill set's there to be able to help us in our top 6.
I guess just on the injury front, is it kind of you getting some guys back? Is that kind of what you're looking at tonight to kind of get some more guys into the lineup?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, our injuries are more long-term than anything else. I think Philly Daou is close and will probably play in Syracuse next weekend. With no midweek game, that gives him another week. Bebo is close as well. We expect both those guys to be available for Tuesday's practice in full goal mode. But when you look at the other 4 injuries that we're right now, it's we're talking anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks on all 4 guys. So that's why Conacher's in here. That's why Castle's in here. And at the end of the day, we're going to continue to give a look to Betts and Luco. Luco scored 10 goals in Grand Rapids last year, so he's obviously got some AHL experience, and we thought he was, deserved a little bit more of a look. And the same with the Betts kid, who's out of Cornell and a great skater, tremendous on faceoffs, and we've seen in a brief amount of time from him, so he'll continue to get a look as well as we move into the weekend.
And just on Betts, he's a guy that plays hard. Is that kind of what you're looking for from these ECHL guys? Yeah,
I think at the end of the day, they're just trying to find their niche in terms of what they can bring to the table here. And so far, we've liked his speed, real high hockey IQ. He's been able to pick up the systematic play pretty quickly for a guy that didn't practice with us last weekend. And one of the games, he was 78% on faceoffs, and we thought he was actually pretty solid on the PK in a minimal role, but we're going to try and expand that a little bit and see if there's something there. You always want to find those diamonds in the rough that maybe are just looking for an AHL opportunity and maybe got squeezed for whatever reason. And he's a good kid. He works hard, very coachable. So, just watching him on the optional skate this morning, we try to get a little glute management there for the boys in terms of, resting them for tonight and making sure they're ready to go tonight. But, just watching him in the skate this morning, he moves very well out there. And as we all know nowadays, you got to be able to skate to play. And so that's certainly one of his strengths.
What's the early scouting report on Lehigh Valley? They've lost 3 games in a row, and I guess what is the game plan to try to continue their streak and end this one briefly?
Well, I think, just watching them play yesterday, a couple things stood out to me. They looked like they got a pretty good forecheck in terms of the games that we pre-scouted. So, I think our breakouts will be a key for us tonight. Again, on their breakouts, they look like their D really worked together. So when they're going back for pucks, what's that mean? Well, that means our forecheck. Guys are going to have to get up ice, and hopefully with a full week of rest here and the optional this morning, guys will have their legs to be able to have a sustained and good forecheck tonight going in. And then the other thing that for us is, they and it's typical of the American Hockey League. There's just more odd man rushes this time of year because teams are still trying to have fits with their young guys and really hone down on their systematic play and their defensive zone coverage. So they were giving up, a lot of our odd man rushes in the 3 games that we pre-scouted. And so again, from our perspective, if we can play well without the puck and have people in the right places, maybe we can take advantage of some odd man rushes. And they may be saying the same thing about us, because at the end of the day, we want to cut our odd man rushes out against, but that's typical of this time of year.
And just lastly, in net tonight, Matt Sogard's going to go. How important is it for both your goaltenders to rebound this weekend?
Yeah, and we've started individual meetings this week. We kind of targeted this week and next week as a time to sit down with each player, talk about their performance so far, specifically the new guys. We think that 8 games is a pretty good amount of time to evaluate the new players and talk about roles and just their foundations and keys in terms of what makes them successful. And the Goldies were no different. We met with them yesterday. I thought Sogard's return Friday in Milwaukee was fantastic. He gave us a chance to pull a goalie at 3-2 because otherwise I don't think that game would have been close. And but again, the next day, whether it's fatigue, play, because he hasn't played in a while, at the end of the day, you got to be better even when you're put in difficult circumstances. And when it comes to Mando, the same type of thing. Great performance in Laval, probably his best game as a pro, but quite frankly, I just, 3-0. I thought 2 goals out of the 3 were very stoppable in that Rockford game. So as a coach, you have no choice. You're trying to change momentum, and you can't have bad goals go in. Or if one bad goal goes in, there can't be another one, So that's why we made the switch last Saturday, and it didn't really pay off for us. But at the end of the day, both goalies have to, work on their consistency and make sure they know that if something squeaks by them, that next save has to be made. So we're looking forward to that tonight, and so we need a big one from Sogard tonight.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck tonight.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Troy Mann.